Hey everybody, how are you? It's Amanda here with Stark Inspiration, and I'm gonna try and pop in here again today. I tried to do this a little bit earlier, and for some reason it didn't work. So perseverance will always prevail, right? So here we go again. It's a little bit dark. I'm realizing I'm doing a ton of hours this week on my new course, and some wonderful women have stepped up to help me with my research, so I'm very grateful for that. But I was having a little reflection today because it is my father's 74th birthday, and he is actually with my mother in Australia. They snowbird there, and so that's where we're actually originally from, so they're away, and I was just having a FaceTime conversation with them, which I always very much enjoy. So I thought I'd just pop in here because you can kind of sometimes in your life feel different things, whether you're feeling down or you're feeling kind of like hard on yourself, especially this time of year if you're living in the Northern Hemisphere. So I thought I'd chip in about what is your why, or how to kind of find your why in your life and give you more purpose and definition and motivation and all those kinds of things. So the first one I wanted to sort of talk with, I've written myself a few notes so I don't get off track here, is really the first one is what is your definition of success? So is it to have $1 million in the bank? Or is it just to every evening have your husband come home or your partner come home and you have a wonderful meal together, and you just feel that sense of warmth? To watch your children, run through the field kicking the soccer ball, that could be your definition of success. For that, everybody is different, and I think for yourself you need to try and discover what your definition of success actually is, and that starts to deliver a little bit of a glimpse of maybe what your why is in your life, what your goals may be becoming, and the reason and the rationale as to why you are wanting those sorts of things. The other thing is what are you passionate about? I can kind of have a conversation about this because here I am doing all these long hours, and if I was working for someone, which I was laid off about a year and a bit ago now, and there's no way in heck would I ever be putting in these hours. It was just like kind of, I wouldn't say it was a punch in, punch out, but there was certainly a beginning to my day and an end of the day. And I couldn't go, say, for instance, and walk my dogs, which I did throughout the day, or I went for a swim and I did great exercise for myself today. So, that kind of determines your sense of why and purpose and your vision for your goals and yourself, right? So you're looking at, the first one where you're talking about what is your definition, and then it's what is your purpose in your life, or your passion, what you're passionate about. And the third and final one that I'll talk about right now and tonight is you ask yourself a question, which is a crazy question, but it's kind of fun to play around with, is if money was no object, what would you be doing, right? Well, here's a story about my son, my youngest son, actually. He's 20. He's coming up 21 at the end of March. And he has been a full-time mechanic since he got out of high school. So that's 3 years. And it's funny, actually, my oldest son, he's getting married this year, and he's 23, and he's a mechanic as well. They actually work at the same dealership. But he's just not really, like my oldest, he's just not had the passion for mechanics. Like, he's learned a ton about his car, but in this heart, his soul of his soul, it's just not being, what he's passionate about, right? What he wakes up in the morning and goes, yes, I get to go fix a car. I want to, versus my older boy, he loves it, right? So if money was no object, what would he do? Well, he's doing it. He's not letting anything stand in his way. Now, he's 20. He lives with his dad and his stepmom, so he doesn't have any kind of worries too much. We all have worries. But if he's actually gone back to school, he's applied, he's just got in, so in the next few months, he's going to be going to university. So he's, taken that plunge, and instead of seeing himself when he's 40 years old doing something that he's not happy about, He's doing it early, and I'm super proud of him for that. So if money was no object, what would you do, right? So there's 3 questions that you can start to ask yourself to define what is your why in your life, your purpose, and that can actually start to put your goals, like what is your goal in life? And all those sorts of good questions are ways in which you can start to steer along your passion, your purpose, and your goals. So the first one is you're going to need to define what your definition of success actually is to you, not to the Joneses next door, but to you. The second one was to really discover what you are passionate about. And maybe if you've been looking after someone for the last 10 years, or you've got young children, you've started to forget what you're passionate about, right, in your 20s or your early 30s. So sit down and think about that. And then the final one was, if money was no object, what would you like to do? So I'll leave you with that. I hope that was of some value to you. I apologize for earlier if you were trying to watch that video. I'm not sure what happened, but we all live and learn through this technology. I hope everyone has a wonderful evening, and I will look forward to hopefully popping in with you guys again tomorrow. Again, my name is Amanda, and I'm with StarkInspiration.com. And thanks very much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.